Hey guys, welcome to Planning Real Alaska. I am back with my first paycheck for March, and then just to kind of go over some other things, my March calendar, and to see which paychecks are going to be allocated to which bills, and then I think I paid some sinking funds. So let's get to it. So again, this is my budget by paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom. I had the PDF version, and so I printed everything out, and I just put in here until May, so it didn't make it too big. And I'm just gonna go to March, and this is what I have kind of so far, what I plan to allocate paychecks to. So my first paycheck is here on the 1st, and I get paid on the 1st and the 15th, and then my husband, Ty, gets paid on the 6th and the 4th. And the way the Budget Mom has us do it is the highlighter method, which my highlights are kind of not very organized. I'm gonna have to do better next month, but I don't want to reprint out this page and then redo everything that's on the next page. So we will work with what we got. This one came from Ty's second check from February, so I just want to keep track of it because it pulls out in March, but it gets paid from Ty's second check. So AMSOIL is a yearly subscription. It's so that he can get discounts because he changes our oils for our vehicles and filters and all that stuff. So we pay $16 a year for that, to have that discount, and then my Kindle Unlimited, which is $9.99. So those two came out from that check. So from my first paycheck, half of our sinking funds, rent, my Verizon Wireless, we paid some on the debt, and the Alaska Airlines card is what actually, it is a debt, but it isn't, because we pay it off every month. It's so we can get miles. We put all of our utilities and such on there. Well, most of our utilities. Netflix and YouTube will also come out of this check. And then we normally do a cash envelope, and again, cash envelope, because I don't really do a whole lot of cash because of our banking issues here in Alaska. Our two banks are down in Arizona, and to pull out, you can only pull out so much cash at the ATM, and there's fees, and it's just kind of a pain. So I don't do very many cash envelopes. So the ones that I do, we do kids for $20 a month, and they already spent that for this month, or maybe I changed that to $60 a month. I'm not sure, but they used 20 of it to buy the new Frozen movie, which is really good. I highly recommend it for kids, and even my husband watched it last night, and he really enjoyed it. So I'm sorry if this video is a little shaky. You guys would really laugh at me if you saw the contraption I have until my tripod comes in the mail from Amazon, which again, it takes about 7 to 10 days. We no longer get 2-day Amazon shipping because we, again, are in Alaska. So that's a whole other issue I had to get used to. But anywho, so let's get over to our first, and I'm just gonna take it out of here so it's easier for me to write. And this is just kind of notes on what I would like to go over in this video. So I'm gonna set that aside there, and I'm going to move this aside. I hope this isn't too wobbly of a video, but just please give me grace. So here is the March first paycheck. So my paycheck already came through. Since I get paid on the 1st, it usually comes in a couple days prior to that. So I did budget $3,000, forgetting that this is February was a short month, so I technically only got paid $28.6807, and then I had a rollover in my account of $112.63. So I am trying to figure out how best to separate our accounts, because we have half of the bills come out of my One Arizona checking account, credit union, and half of the bills come out of our Chase account that Ty's check goes into. And then we have another account here in Alaska that we fund our gas and our food for debit. So so I am trying to figure out how to budget appropriately to keep track of it, because to try to combine all the leftovers from Chase, Alaska USA, and my One Arizona is just way confusing. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is on my paychecks, the first and the third paycheck of the month, because Ty will get paid in between there, I will just basically keep track of my One Arizona account. Ty doesn't have any funds that goes in there. He's not even on the account. That was just account I had prior to marriage, so I just always kept it and use it, because it's always good to have a credit union in your back pocket. So I also put our sinking accounts in there. So I have a savings account hooked up to it, that sinking accounts. I store those in there, and I keep track of those on another page, which we will look at later. But back to my leftovers. So I had $112.63 leftovers. So that gave me a total of $29.80 with 70 cents for the month, or for this pay period. And rent is $1,993, and that will come out on the 4th of March. Verizon Wireless will come out on the 7th, and that's $191.17. Netflix is $14.07. YouTube $15. Apple, that was for the Frozen movie, $19.99, so that already came out. And then a $40 cushion, which I always leave because I don't feel comfortable leaving nothing in my account. So, not that there's nothing, because there is a sinking fund, but I don't want to pull from that for, you know, a mistake or something. Because so, like, this Apple, I totally forgot about that. It was coming out of my 1AZ. So, good thing I have that cushion, because I had already paid on my Alaska Air credit card that amount. So technically I would be in the negative $20 if I didn't have this cushion. So now it's just basically a $20 cushion, if that makes sense. So after all the bills, I have left $2,273.23, or actually that's the total I have left. I wish I had that much. I have left $707.47. So I am going to start funding half of my sinking funds with each check, because I did do it on my second check, which is basically our third check of the month. And it was just a big chunk out. Not that I have a whole lot of bills that come out with that check, but I mostly like to pay off this for the month, because that has all of our utilities on there, which I showed all our utility amounts in my previous March budget. So go back to that video and you can see what our utilities will cost, or I have budgeted for the month of March. So back to actuals, I have $707.47 left over. So Christmas, this is half, is $75, because we save $150 a month. School supplies is $40. Beef is $100, which we get a cow in October, so we're saving $1,500 for that. Hawaii, we're doing Thanksgiving in Hawaii this year, so we're saving $400 a month for that. So there's $200, half of that, and then $50 for medical. And I had already funded car maintenance, so I just put $0 there. So total sinking funds is $465. And so leftover is $242.47. So that's what I put for our extra debt. And again, I paid $262.46 already, forgetting that I had paid for that $20 Apple. So technically I would be negative $20. So we will, I don't have a red pen, so I will just use this purple pen. I love it. These are the friction clicker erasable pens, and I really love them. I got them from Target. So negative $20 in a sense. So there's that. Oops. So I will not be doing any of the cash envelopes this month, or this paycheck. Ty will fund those in his paycheck that he has coming. And so I will just cross that out. And let me put this back, and then we'll go to our sinking funds. So I use sinking fund tracker. Where did that go? Sorry, guys. All right, here it is. I'm sorry again if this video is shaking, but so this is the sinking fund tracker, again by the Budget Mom. I am trying to incorporate this into, since I'm not using cash envelopes for my sinking funds, I'm trying to keep track of it because I just have it all in one account as titled sinking funds. I don't have, like, I know some people use the Capital One 360 and they will individually name their sinking funds and allocate them, but I'm just beginning doing this, so maybe in the future I will attempt that, but I really do like to use pen and paper and less digital. I'm not the best at computers and any kind of, as you can probably see with my editing from my first video, I didn't edit any of that, so please, again, be graceful if you have any comments, and any tips and tricks would be great. There's only so much that you can learn off of YouTube. So anyways, back to sinking funds. So this will be my sinking funds for the year. And so at the top, I have school supplies, Hawaii beef, medical, car maintenance, and Christmas. And I can write like how much we're going to, I'll write it in a darker color. So school supplies, let's see, I am doing 500. Hawaii, we are doing 3,500. Beef, we're doing 1,500. Medical, we're doing 1,000. 1,000. Car maintenance, we're doing 700. My husband thinks we'll need, and that's for oil and air filters and may possibly tags, depending, but definitely oil, air filters, and we get a lot of snow and rain, especially in breakup season. We get lots of sleet, so we definitely need windshield wipers, and so we replace those a couple times a year. And then Christmas, I'm doing 1,500. So February is when I started kind of budgeting, and so I did put the $80 in school supplies, 400 in Hawaii, 200 in beef, 100 in our medical, 64 in car maintenance, and 150 in Christmas. So I did have a copay that I had to pay, so $50.63 under medical. So what I have left is $49.37. So since these are erasable pens, I'm just going to write in for March, since I just put money in sinking funds, I'm going to put $40, $200, 100. I put 50. I did not put anything in there. And I did 75. So I'll just leave that right there for now. I won't do the ending balance because I'm going to add to it, and I'll just probably either put a plus there if I don't use any of that, but I think I do have another medical copay that I'm going to be paying. So then I can just erase the totals. And so those are my sinking funds. And then Then now I want to do, so I know that today is the 29th, but my husband was going out of town and I wanted to get grocery shopping done before he left, just in case he got snowed in and couldn't come home. So I did go shopping, grocery shopping, and filled up my gas last night. So I am counting it for March because we were over for February and I didn't want to add it. So I am going to use it as March, since technically Ty's last check does cover March and the last week of February and the first week of March. So we'll just count this as, and we do fund, so in our Alaska USA, like I said, we put $700 every 2 weeks from Ty's check for gas and food. So our food also includes our dog food and household supplies. So technically that's $175 a week, and $700 for gas because we both have four-wheel drive because we live in Alaska and my husband does drive a lot, so he does get reimbursed some gas sometimes, but we drive a lot here and we use a lot of gas and I hate that, but we have 3 kids and they're little kids, so to go down to a smaller vehicle that's not as safe, I just don't feel comfortable yet. So I made this little cheat sheet for highlighting because, again, the budget mom likes to track her expenses using the highlighter method. So I am going to, you get a few of these little trackers in the book, and so I think last month I did not do well tracking. So I think this month what I'm gonna try is doing our Alaska USA, so our food and gas on one page. And this one will have maybe all of our Chase, and then I have another one for all of my 1AZ, and I'll track it that way and see how that works. So for food I'm using I think it's the lighter highlighter, and these are the mid liners. I really like them. They're really pretty colors. And then gas is, I believe, the light blue. I used a little too many blues on here, but I already had laminated it, so hopefully that's the right one. So I'm going to highlight. So yesterday I spent, and this should be good for us for at least 2 weeks with just maybe some fillers of milk. And I think we need some eggs, but I make bread, and we got, basically it was just fruit and vegetables. Like I said, we get a cow, so we have beef. We did get a moose this year, so we have moose, and we have tons of halibut and salmon. So we are good on the protein front. All I usually buy is chicken. So food is the orange color, so we will highlight food. And then, so I spent $46.75 at Walmart. And then Fred Meyer's had grapes and a couple Breyers ice cream on sale. So and that's because we had a root beer float party last night because both of my sons got 100% on their tests this week. They are 7 and 6, so that was very exciting, and that's what we do what we have to do to bribe our kids to be good in school. They're at that age. So, and then Costco, I actually had $105 credit. So I used that, and I did not count it because I spent $195, but I'm not counting that 100. That's free money to me, so I'm not going to use it in our budget. I'm not going to budget it. So I'm going to say we only spent $95.43, and technically I am going to take something back that I got a sleeping pad because I have a village trip in a few weeks, and so I was going to try a new sleeping pad, so I'm probably going to take that back. So that'll be $30 back that I'll put on here. And then Three Bears is, my husband gets his energy drinks from there. So he did that yesterday because it's actually a really good deal. And then gas was $43.45. So that is that for now. And I put a starting balance because I checked our Alaska USA as of March 1st. I'm calling it $792.28. So we had a leftover of $92.28 in there. So that's what we're starting off with for March. And yeah, so that is that. So we went over the March calendar. We went over my first paycheck. I showed you sinking funds, and we updated that in the tracker. And the first expenses for the first week of March. So thank you guys for watching. Again, any comments that you have would be so helpful. I love watching these YouTube videos for budgeting. They are kind of an obsession, and my husband thinks I'm so funny, but you know, he watches his outdoors and survival YouTube videos, so you know, he has nothing he could say about it. But I love watching real numbers, and you know, I have no problem with showing our real numbers. You know, looks like we make a lot, but honestly, we spend a lot here. Cost of living in Alaska is a lot different than the lower 48. What I do up here in Alaska as a state epidemiologist, or a nurse epidemiologist, I would not get paid as much down in the lower 48 just because of cost of living. So some months we make a lot, some months we don't. Winter's very slow for us, so we really struggle to stay on track, and that's why I want to get our budget on track, because next winter when my husband does slow down, I don't want to stress over paying bills. So again, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.